Hello, class. In this series of videos, we are going to put together a presentation board of multiple drawings. And in this, we're going to use Illustrator, which is a great tool for pinning up presentations. If you have a lot of sheets of paper that all want to act unified, like you might have at the end of the semester for an architecture studio, Illustrator is a good place to compose all those drawings. And so this is sort of practice for you to be able to go ahead, get the basic skills of how to use Illustrator in this way, and then you'll follow me along sort of step by step here, but then at the end of the semester you can use those skills to go out on your own to do what you need to for your project. So in this first video, we're really just going to collect and get ready the work we are going to use in Illustrator. And so I need everyone to do a couple things. You see up on screen right now a perspective of the house that I made. And over the course of the semester, we have made multiple perspectives of whatever chosen house you have. And so the first thing to do is really pick one. We're just going to simplify this and just pick your favorite perspective that you used or that you created for your house this semester. Could be any of them. We probably have four or so at this point in time. They may have been made in Illustrator, they may have been made in Photoshop, it might have been made in SketchUp. Whichever one is your favorite, go ahead and start working from that. Now, the thing you choose, you'll notice as we go later on, the choice, I think, especially the perspective you choose, might start to lead to decisions about page orientation, colors you use in your presentation board. And I'll talk about those as you need to make those decisions in your own project. But the other thing we're going to need besides the perspective is some just floor plans and elevations, just like you might have in a presentation. So go ahead and open the AutoCAD floor plan file and the AutoCAD elevation file for your selected house that I provided for you. I already have those open here, and we're going to make those to be usable in Adobe Illustrator. And again, my preferred way, especially for something like this, is to print a PDF of your work. And I like to just use model space because I like to print each individual thing independently. As you'll see, I'll do the floor plans independently, the elevations independently. That way in Illustrator, I can move them around and scale them if need be, or change whatever you want as needed for each individual plan. So I'm going to do that. I'm in model space. I'm in the floor plan file now of that same house. And I'll just go to the first floor. I'm going to go to print. You can say continue if you get that message there. Select your printer as Adobe PDF, ideally, which you should be able to do if you're on campus. Otherwise, any PDF writer will work. I think for the scale we're going to use is 8th scale. I think that will work. I already have that set up here in the file. If not, if yours isn't set 8th scale, which means I think technically 8.5 by 11 is going to work fine for us. And then select window, click the window button. Sorry, I should say, because you might need to do this. If you're not window over here, first set window over there, then click this window button, and then just from the top left to the bottom right, making sure that the entire floor plan is within there. Select that way. And then lastly, make sure that your plot style is on monochromatic, so all the colors get turned to black. When you print. We can do a preview if you need to, and okay, good, that looks pretty good. So you can go ahead and go plot. When I got this error here, so that's just the way my computer works. I'm going to have to fix that. All right, so if you did get the error I just had, I fixed it off screen because I had to go through several things I didn't want to show. But all you have to do is open any PDF through Acrobat, and I know it's an issue of the particular campus we're working from and how they load software. If you're not from my campus, then you don't care about that error. But again, if you are one of my students who are actually following along, you get that error, which might happen for you as well. Just open any PDF outside of AutoCAD. Just go close it down, open a PDF, and get back to this stage in your printing, and you're going to should be okay. So I got everything set up here, and I'm going to say okay, and I am okay. So save it somewhere. I'm just going to call this first floor plan. Save, and I'm going to do that for the second floor plan as well. So this is going to, once you hit save, we've done this before, but it'll take a few seconds to make a PDF, and there we go. We got the PDF. Come back to CAD. I'm just going to scroll to the second floor plan, do the same thing, print, continue. Now that I have the print set up once, I can actually do a shortcut. I can go previous plot. It takes all the settings as before. The one thing I have to change is the window, the section it's printing. So I just need to hit window again. come down here, select that window, say OK, call it second floor plan, and say OK. And it'll take a second to make this, and there we go. There's the second floor plan. Then once you've done the floor plans, jump over to elevations. I'm going to do the front elevation. I'm going to do it the same way. So I'm just going to go to print, continue to single plot. Again, I can send this previous plot will work across files, so I can go to previous plot. That's going to set up everything as it was in the last time I printed for the floor plans. The only thing I have to change is my window. So I'll go to window and I'll select the elevation and say OK. Call it front elevation. Now I think I'm only going to need for what I'm going to do the front elevation. That said, you may want to make another elevation or two for your project because you can make subtle choices in this assignment yourself. And I think I'll only have room for 3 drawings. But if you might go down a direction where there's more room. So if you want to print the rest of your elevations the same way, whether you use them or not, that's fine, but just take a few minutes probably and just print individual PDFs of all those elevations. That'll give you the flexibility you need further in the assignment. And I know, I understand, like when you're in studio, you probably have a drawing requirement. If the professor asks, show all 4 elevations, obviously you have to show all 4 elevations. That said, if you're making your own presentation and you're setting your own rules and you're trying to tell a story yourself, you might pick and choose what is your best work to show, especially for things like a portfolio. And I know most of my students who are listening to this are still, they're not ready to make a portfolio yet necessarily or head out to the job. But when you are, just because you've drawn 4 elevations for a teacher doesn't mean you have to show them all 4 in your portfolio or any presentation. So part of it is just knowing what the best things are and selecting that and being okay. I might have drew the other thing, but you know what? I'm not going to use it because it's best for the presentation. That can happen if you have that flexibility. So we'll point that out. So anyway, you should have a perspective chosen at this point, and you should have PDFs of the 2 floor plans and probably all 4 elevations. And in the next video, we'll get to Illustrator and laying this out as a full presentation.